So crypto gaming is a category we're investing heavily in, mainly because we think it will be one of the biggest onboarders of new users into crypto. And we also think it will work as the top of the funnel, aka the trailer that gets people to the doors. We can do a little bit trying here. So here's the trailer, here are some people. Sorry for my trying skills, they are not that great. This is the door of the crypto, so crypto gaming will work as a trailer that will show people through the doors of crypto, who then later on get introduced into other categories like layer 1s, ZK rollups or DeFi. The same happened when internet got mass adoption. Gaming was one of the biggest contributors on that. The only challenge which I think many of the crypto gaming projects are struggling with is providing enough use case / utility to get people interested and more importantly, play the games. But if we look at the traditional gaming market right now, about 40% of the world's population do play some sort of games in either mobile, PC or console, and this is almost 4 billion people. And this also represents like 250 billion markets, which is growing each year because of the younger generation that really like to play games. When some of the crypto gaming companies do manage to deliver on their use case / utility obstacle, I really think a big portion of this 250 billion, also the almost 4 billion people that play games, they're gonna transition into crypto. One of the great use cases that many of the crypto gaming companies are really trying to tackle and build on is NFTs. Oops, like that. And to give you an example why many of the crypto gaming companies are really building on NFTs, so I think why they're building on NFTs, is because out of the 250 billion of the traditional gaming markets, about 100 billion of that comes from virtual items, like skins for example. But the problem is right now, if you own a skin in these traditional games, you can't trade it, rent it, sell it, or transfer it to another game when you decide to change games or quit. With NFTs, you can do all of them and much more. And if we already have 100 billion virtual item economy existing, I really wonder what will the economy valuation be in the future when these in-game items evolve to the next era, so to the NFTs and blockchain tech. I think this gaming economy thing could really become a multi-trillion-dollar thing in 10 years, 15 years. And crypto gaming will likely represent a big portion of that. Right now, the market cap of crypto gaming is like, let's see, I don't know, 35 billion. And what makes this really funny is that it's almost the same valuation of some meme coin like Dogecoin, 30 billion. Like the entire market cap of crypto gaming is almost the same size as one meme coin, which is insane. But yeah, I don't know what the valuation of crypto gaming will be in the next few years, but I surely think or believe it will be more than 1 or 2 meme coins. And as a side note, I really don't understand why some of these meme coins have such a crazy valuations. Like if someone knows, please tell me, because they really don't have any use case, to be honest. But still people seem to put their money into it. But I think we really want to have coins that have a use case, so people will actually hold the coins and the price could be something meaningful in the future. Because if the coin's price is purely based on hyper speculation, people will sell when they're in a little bit of profit because they know there's really nothing else that will drive or keep driving the price up. I think one great example is Solana. Let's see if we can find Solana. There it is. One of the most scalable, reliable and cheapest layer 1s out there, where a lot of the smart people are building on right now. And the ecosystem is evolving in a really fast speed. And therefore we haven't seen much selling pressure in the past year or so. Now I don't own Solana and we could have many opinions about the valuation of 22 billion. But I think valuating new tech like Solana or AI, for example, it's incredibly hard because we haven't had such tech in the past and we really don't know what is capable in the future. So what do you base it on? But when a project has a use case and people know it has a use case, people will hold their holdings and refuse to sell. And this is when we see price appreciation like Solana. Let's cover a few projects that we are invested to, because I promised in the beginning of the video. One of them is Vulcan Forged. And by the way, as a disclaimer, oh, not this one. As a disclaimer, I suggest you do not invest into any of these. I am not a financial advisor. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if these are great projects. You should do your own due diligence. I'm just a guy trying to make some money. I think these projects could head up in the future. But yeah, Vulcan Forge. We had a lot of Vulcan Forge in the last cycle. I think our average buy point back then was like $8 or $9, and we did manage to sell a lot of them in this peak, but not at the highest top because I don't know anyone that really catch the top. But we also left some holdings during this last cycle and we took some big losses on the way down because we been in the bear market the past few years. So in hindsight, I should have sold all of them, but you didn't know. But we also bought a lot more during these past few years, and I think our average buy point right now is like $4, and we've seen some steady gains. But it's a project I'm planning to hold for multiple years, and I really like the CEO, Jamie Thompson, and Wolken Forge team. They're building big things, like they're building a launchpad right now on Elysium, on the Layer 1 blockchain, which they launched recently. But yeah, they have multiple games. One of them is quite cool. I might do a whole video of Wolken Forge later on. Another great gaming project that I recently bought in is Moonsummer. Oops, let's try to find it. This one. It's a little bit smaller one. It's like 9 million market cap right now. And the fully diluted is, let's see, 17 million, which is great ratio, not that many locked tokens. Summer is a project built by Donny. Let's see if I can find the guy. Really smart guy. I've been following this on Twitter for multiple years. He is the main builder of this project. There are a couple other guys on this team as well that I've been following on Twitter. Really cool guys, and one of the main reasons why I invested in this, because I really believe that these guys can pull this really good game off. And also the second reason, because of the valuation of 9 million market. I think we could be quite early on this. I don't know. We'll see. No one knows. They're also building a cool game, which is, let me see if I can find it, Tremica. So Moonsummer previously had multiple games, like Wild Summer, Pond Summer. There were some other games as well with these funny names. But I heard that they recently, or a few months ago, decided to pause those and fully focus on this Tremica, which is looking quite cool, to be honest. Let's see if we can see in it. I don't know why this is black, but it looks quite cool in my opinion. And there's the first alpha releasing in I think it's like 25 days. Really interesting to see how this goes. One thing that I'm also looking at right now is launchpads, because I like to invest into new and early projects, simply because I think many of them have way better risk to reward than many of these bigger projects. Summer is not an example of bigger projects, it's a small one, but these projects with these 500 million market caps, 1 billion, 2 billion market caps. Obviously these newer projects, they require more time and research to put into them, but I think, or I know, in the end it pays off with these quite nice games sometimes. And one way to get early in these games is by using launchpads. So for example, Seedify or Bytes, great example. And also now Wolken Forge, because they have their own launchpad on Elysium. So when a new project is launching, they usually raise capital through different launchpads in form of IDO, as known as initial Lex offering. And if you're an investor in a launchpad, for example Bytes, for Bytes you need X amount of bytes, and I believe you need the NFTs as well, which are quite expensive right now. But if you have them, you might get an allocation on these new projects. And you are able to buy at the project's launch price, which is really early. But I think it's good to keep in mind that many of these newer projects that are launching and just raising capital on these launchpads, they are really new and will probably fail. Many of them, even 90%, and won't be here after 5 years. But again, I think we will see some of the projects succeed as well and pull those 10x, 20x's. But of course, it requires more time and research to put into them, because there are plenty of shit projects as well. But I think if you have the time and you can put the effort in, it really can pay off in the future. But yeah, many of these launchpads allocation setups, or how much you get allocated into each new project, it really varies and depends on usually how much you have invested in the launchpad and also how long have you been a holder or staker. But yeah, I think we're living really interesting times right now. I think the younger generation really wants to own crypto, NFTs and tech stocks, and they're not that interested in buying gold, bonds or bank stocks. I think they want some native to the digital economy they grew up in, because that's what they really understand. Many of them also grew up by playing games, so probably crypto gaming and NFT assets are something many of them do want to own in the future. So yeah, crypto gaming is one of the categories we primarily invest in, and we pretty much ignore everything else, because I think one good category is all you need to do incredibly well, and I know. But of course, no one knows what will happen, and we'll see in the future. And also the bear market that we saw in the past 1.5 years or 2 years, I think it was a really good thing for crypto. I think the hype and speculation on this last cycle, it got way too ahead of the reality. So now we have had some time for the fundamentals to catch up. And at the end of the day, all new innovation cycles, they start highly speculative. And I think the hype and speculation of crypto, the last bubble we saw, it definitely wasn't a bad thing for crypto, because it gave many crypto projects the funding to take the innovations further. And looking back, we are much ahead than we were like 4 years ago right now. And now many of these projects have had their time to catch up. The markets are recovering. I think we'll be living really interesting times in the next few years. And also people knowing that the interest rates have peaked and are on the way down, I think that's going to unlock a lot of new cash to the markets. But yeah, I hope you found this quick video valuable. If so, consider subscribing and let's go from here. Cheers.